welcome back to another book review. Today we are looking at The Daughter of the Emperor by Reno, and the original story is by Yunsol. I hope I'm saying their names right. But yeah, this one is, I picked this book up because it's another one where the cover of the art is just beautiful. But if I'm being completely honest, if anyone here has heard of Hetalia, I've been interested in this book because he reminds me of Prussia. He looks like Prussia from a show called Hetalia that I grew up on and I absolutely loved. So I was like, well, you know what? If there's a boy with red eyes and white hair, I guess I'm reading it. So if you see me looking off the screen, it's because I do have a script. It just helps me keep my thoughts more cohesive and reading on the points I want to make a little bit better. But also because I'm reading through a lot of books. As usual, this review is going to include spoilers, so if this is a book that you want to read and you don't want spoilers, perhaps come back after you've read the book, because all my reviews, as usual, do include spoilers, because I'm happy to talk about the book. But yeah, so when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to include in the script, so this another book that I've looked at that I got is apparently a manhwa. I don't know how you pronounce it. If someone could explain it to me. I don't know what this is about, but I did also pick up when I went to Waterstones the Oak Tree or something. The Oak Tree. I read that I read that the day after I read this one. But yeah, it's The Daughter of the Emperor, if you like adorable protagonists, because our main character is, we're going to see her grow throughout this book and hopefully in the other books as well, because I will be going down this this route of reviewing these book series as well, and hopefully get my hands on the rest of them. Overpowered and daunting dads was not expecting, because he seems like an asshole. Can I say that? Am I going to get filtered? I don't know. It very much he did remind me of Prussia throughout the book, and there are going to be some Hetalia fans who may watch this and say he's our Prussia. He's nothing like that. I'm not sure we watch the same show. That's what I love about these though. We are good to take what we read. So The Daughter of the Emperor follows the story of Aridna. I never figured out how to say her name, I will be honest. And she's the only daughter, the only child of the Emperor that he has not killed. So he's got a bit of a bloodthirsty streak, concerning, but for some reason he spares her. And she knows this, and she's not happy. She's not happy. But you see, the Daughter of the Emperor also remembers her past life and how she passed. So she's got quite a lot going on upstairs as far as, she's got her past life, and then she's been reborn to this man, and she's not too happy. She doesn't know why she's here. She doesn't know why it's happened. She doesn't know, she's waiting for him. She's waiting for him to kill her. Very, very interesting way to start the book. I'm like, wow, is this something I'm going to want to read? Apparently so, because I did not put this book down from start to finish. Even when I went to tea with my family that day, the book went with me, because I needed to know. I did get into trouble for that. My mum thinks I need to put books down when I'm reading, but that I'm reading when I'm eating. And she's probably on something, because I might pace myself a bit better when it comes to reading books. Yeah, so we have the Emperor Cato. That's how I'm saying it. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. And he's a bloodthirsty ruler, and the book's in the perspective of his daughter, and we don't actually know why he's keeping her alive, because he killed everyone else. And I don't know if we're going to find answers to that, because I'm still curious after finishing the book. So why you should read it. This one's a bit different from my previous ones. I don't know why he does end up bonding with her, and it's really unusual. And anyone who lays hands on her, he continues his streak of bloodthirsty rulership. He's just No one gave you permission. That is my daughter. You are gone. A bit rough, just, yeah, but you know, I must admit, one of the girls I wasn't too happy with either, as I'm reading it from the perspective of his daughter. But I wouldn't have sentenced her to that either. Throw her to prison, maybe. Like, but I feel like death is a harsh punishment. I don't think she's gonna learn if she's dead though. And she's not gonna upset our female lead here. The art. I'm trying to think of a page that really shows it, but I don't want to get censored. It's really simple, but it's also really beautiful, the art style throughout this book. And he just it's simple, and it was easy on the eyes. I can struggle sometimes if I get a book. I like read, so like I've got the Apothecary Diaries here. I quite like my books black and white because it's easier. Sometimes colours clash too much on the page for me, especially in comics. So it can be really off-putting, and it just makes my head spin. I struggle reading, but like it's a really nice colour palette. It's really pale. It's really easy to follow. It doesn't, you know, at no point while reading this book was I like, what is going on, because it was easy to follow. I knew where I was looking. I knew where the next bit were. Sometimes when I'm reading comics, it gets really confusing because there's so much colour and bam 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 on the page that I can't understand. This isn't a comic, this is a manga, like the Apothecary Diaries. Oh, hold on. It's a manga, it's a manhwa. I've just realised this. You don't read this one backwards, you read this one forwards, which some people are probably going to be looking at this and being like, what is that? Because most manga, you read, so look, that's how we would normally read it. So we would open the book like this in England, and you would, yeah. This one, it's a bit backwards because I don't know if it showed up too well on camera. That's not just how I'm holding it, you just read them from different directions. And I've only just noticed this. But yeah, so that's interesting. I'm actually surprised, and I can't believe I didn't pick up on it, but honestly, I was just reading back to back these books. I didn't want to put any of them down. But yeah, Ariadne Illustri Pre Aggregants is a mouthful. Personally, I really like the character development throughout the book. I like how we saw the Catel, or Papa as she calls him, how we saw his character changing. I didn't like the introduction to the other ladies in the book. So the carers of Ariadne, very polite, very kind, very soft-spoken. You really got a sense for the characters through the books. But the girls who seem to be trying to romance Papa, I just got Mean Girl energy from. I didn't like it. And reading that from the baby's perspective, I don't know if they actually were. I don't know if that's just what the author wanted, you know, but I didn't like the energy of these other girls that kept popping up in the book. I'll tell you who I did like, though. There is this guy that keeps popping up, and I can't remember his name. Dranstay. There we go. He keeps making jokes that he will marry her when she's older. I was like, forget the fact that she's a baby and he knows that she's been reborn from a past life. I don't know how he knows this. It isn't revealed in the book. He seems to be of supernatural ability. I want to know more about him, but his character was probably the most intriguing in the whole book because he's quite playful. But I also didn't like him. But he was a likeable, dislikable character because it wasn't... I don't know, I couldn't fully get a grasp or a proper understanding of his character, but he's quite playful and he likes messing with her dad and confusing him. He likes teasing people, and I don't know what creature he is, but it is hinted that he is not human and that he can make himself seen and not seen. but he's not an assassin, but he also is. That was quite a curious development in the book. I want to know more about his character. I want to know who this guy is, because I think for me that's one of the biggest driving factors to get the next book. I'm going to keep an eye out, see if I can get a second-hand copy of it, because like I said, what was this? It was worth the money. The sticker is not on here for how much I actually paid for it, but it was expensive, brand new. All books are. It is absolutely worth it, but it's just, if I want to read the whole series, I'm going to have to try and get some second-hand copies. I think a few people have mentioned to me that you can read it online. I prefer having a physical book. I like how books feel in my hands. I like being able to look at them. I like being able to turn the page. I do have a Kindle. I am going to try and read some books on the Kindle. It's cheaper to get through a Kindle. I don't know if this is going to be available on there, but it's going to take some adjustment for me, because especially because I'm epileptic as well. The whole point of me like reading books is to pull away from it, but apparently the Kindle is really soft on your eyes if you are someone who struggles with stuff like that. Reading for me is supposed to be my break from gaming, because I play a lot of video games, but also my internet's been rubbish lately, so yeah. I want to see more of the playful dude. I want to see more. I want to see his character develop. It has been 2 weeks since it's been a week, sorry, since I read this book. So my brain, I didn't include him in my script. I wish I had, because flipping heck, his character just popped up at awkward times and just made the plot all the more interesting. I love it when they have like little characters that just pop up and they're like so rich and detailed. There's so much going on with their character that it just adds to the plot. But then the characters who are central to the plot are like, who the heck are you? And why are you here again? And just shoo. I thought that was very cleverly done. And I honestly, I loved it. I really loved it. It's slice of life, but it's also historical. I didn't. Even though romance is touched on, absolutely not central to the plot of the story. It is not. It's just people wanting to marry the most ruthless man, apparently, on the planet. That seems to be in a lot of these books that I've been reading. Ruthless men that no one wants anything to do with. But, you know, it was nice to see it from a perspective of a baby rather than it being a romance. I like that there isn't romance in this. And when it is brought up, it's only hinted at between her papa and some random girl that we aren't going to know anything other than she's going to probably die soon. She probably will die soon. But not the daughter of the Emperor. I'm curious to see how she's going to grow up. I'm curious to see Ketil grow, because it's only around her that he changes his face often. But also we've got so you've got like these two servants who he has oversee her. They're really polite and mild-mannered, and I loved the character development in this. I just loved how all the characters just beautifully interacted with each other. I like the introductions and the different switch-ups of the different characters. I really love the outfits that they're wearing. Like, that is another thing for me that it was just, I like when it comes to historical fiction, especially when I'm reading like comics or manga on them. I want to see the historical. I want to see the colours, I want to see the fancy outfits, I want to see what people don't necessarily wear anymore. I think in terms of cosplay content, I just hope there are people who will cosplay some of these characters, because it would just be a shame. The outfits are gorgeous, you know, you can tell as well in the outfits the difference between social levels and social class. It's really interesting as well to see how the different characters intermingle with one another. I am going to rate this as a 5. Just know I am biased, because it is just... Initially when I started reading it, I was like, I don't think I'm going to finish this book. But lo and behold, I actually read it in like 2 hours. It was a very quick read for me. And this wasn't even skimming. This was just me being like, what's going on? What? And then obviously the slow introduction and slow changes of character, the changes of environment, the introductions of the different characters. I like how evenly paced it was. So it was... Oh, what have I done to my face? I don't know what I've done to my face, but that's not what we're here for. It was a really nicely paced book, and I couldn't put it down. I didn't, and this, especially to go from I'm not going to finish this doesn't seem like my cup of tea, to I need the next book. Like, after I read this one, I was there. I was trying to find where I could get the next book from. I can't remember what I found. I think I might have to, I'm gonna probably look to see where I can get it from, if it's available, because I know with one of the books that I looked at, Under the Oak Tree, the second book comic version isn't out yet, but the novel series is. I will be releasing a review of that soon, but yeah, you can read that one, you can read online. I am unsure about this one. I can't remember what I'd found when looking it up, and I really should have included that in the script, but I haven't. Yeah, if you've read this book, let me know what your favourite moments are. Are you do you like Castiel, or are you like me? Are you more, what's his name? Let me find his name again for you. So these names are all foreign to me, so I'm really sorry for like fumbling with them. My brain just, these aren't names that I've heard before, so it gets really confusing sometimes when I'm trying to remember the names. Oh, mind reader. That's one of this guy's skills. He is a mind reader, and I just love how we have this baby talk to us throughout the book going, "You asshole," and I'm just like, talking about my baby's mouth. Why is that funny? It was just funny to me, the language that's used. Dranstay. Are you Castiel, or are you this guy? Look at him. He's just so smug. I loved his character. Is he right? So he has somewhat for supernatural powers, like telepathy, from what I could tell. But he is just such a jerk. I really want to see more of his character. But yeah, if you've read this book, let me know who your favorite, if you're more Castiel or Dranstay. I hope I'm saying that right. And yeah, what do you hope to see develop in this series? And is this a book you're going to pick up? Is this a book you've already read? What did you think? And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.